Hey kids, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whichever the case may be. Hope you're all feeling all right. As you know, I usually am when I'm doing these videos, and kind of helps me to express myself a little bit better. Let's talk about ghosts. Yeah. I used to go through this graveyard. I bet I've been through it 100 times, many times tripping. Very large graveyard. It's got to be about a quarter mile long, maybe an eighth of a mile deep. You'd think I would have saw at least one ghost. You know, never saw anything. No mists, no wandering souls, no open caskets, and I never had any hallucinations of it either. You'd really think if there really was such a thing as ghost and talking to the dead, that our government or other governments would utilize that. They'd be able to find things out. There'd be no secrets. I do believe, though, that somehow our dreams are connected. I truly believe that. Here's why. Twice with my dad. First time, I had a dream that, and I tell you, it wasn't like just any other dream. It was one of those dreams you know is different from all the rest. It seems like I was back in time, back in the 60s, at a roller rink that my mom and dad had both taken me to. But my dad kind of got real pissy about. I've later confirmed it with my mom, but not what I had envisioned in my dream. Because in my dream, I was standing outside the roller rink watching him, and my mom with me in tow, and him all pissy at me. And I can remember being upset about it. And I walked over to him and I clubbed him right in the head. But at the same time, my mom in real time was right there saying, no, don't. But I had to. And it seemed like it was at that point I broke through something. It's like my fear of my father had left me. I no longer had it. The other time when I saw him in my dream was another one of those dreams you just know are different from all the rest. It was about a week after he passed. And him and I were both standing on the road his mom lived on, my grandma. And I can remember him putting his hand to the side of my face and looking over me. And I remember looking back, and it's where my mom used to live. And it was like something was telling me, not exactly, but. And then he looked back at his house where he grew up in Galesburg. And he nodded. And he looked back at me for a second and nodded and walked away from the house, both houses towards this elementary school, which is no longer there. Here's what I found out. Here's what happened. he was telling me the order. And when he looked up where my mom used to live on the corner, but not really, he was talking about her father. And then he looked back at his house and he was talking about his father. And then him. And then he walked away. Here's what happened. He died. And then less than 2 years, my mom's father died, either my grandfather, and then his father died. I lost all three major males in less than 2 years' time, in my 20s. And worse shit has happened, right? Here's the other part of why I think dreams are connected. It was about a week after my mom passed. And I just had this feeling like she was right there. Whether it was in a dream or she was right there. And it seemed like she was very confused at first. Almost frantic. But then I felt like because she had contact with me, she was somehow calmed by it. I like to think that. I never told my brother or sister that. Now they'll know, right? Hey guys, thanks for sharing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Hit all them likes on the subscribe. Yeah, I'll share more with you later. Yeah, I really appreciate everybody so far. I really, really enjoyed it. Till the next one. Peace out.